This is After Ian.
Local arts organizations are still in recovery mode, yet the people within the arts know just how to channel their creativity for the good of the entire community. Morning Edition host John Davis brings us this story.
Arts organizations in Southwest Florida were no exception to Hurricane Ian's catastrophic damage, and many are still in the process of recovery. Even as they dealt with their own immediate needs, performing arts centers became a hub for essential supplies. The basement of the Sidney and Byrne Davis Arts Center in downtown Fort Myers completely flooded and had to be pumped out. Even still, the Arts Center's grand atrium was transformed into a drop-off and distribution center for essential items like food, water, clothing, infant formula, and pet supplies. Despite being less than a half mile from the Caloosahatchee River, the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater was largely spared from Ian's wrath. 2 days after Ian, Broadway Palm partnered with World's Central Kitchen and transformed their parking lot into a distribution point for bottled water and hot meals. Still, Ian came at the start of the performing arts season, forcing the Broadway Palm to cancel more than 24 performances. The Florida Repertory Theater performance season was brought to a halt because of extensive flooding to downtown Fort Myers.
It was about 4 feet of water sloshing outside, so we knew that there was a tremendous amount of water that had breached the Bradford block and specifically the building. When I got downtown, the water had subsided, but what we were left with was a tremendous amount of that black muck that everyone had dealt with.
The pace of recovery at the Florida Rep began rapidly.
Everyone, not just our production team, although they were on the spot immediately, but everybody in the company rolled up their shirt sleeves and got to work, got busy, got dirty to help rectify the space.
The Florida Rep incurred some $2 million in damages, but even a year later, they've received no insurance payout for the flood damage. When those funds do come in, it still won't cover the actual cost. Despite recovering from 18 inches of water in its art stage studio theater space, the Florida Rep was able to continue performances of Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, which they were in the middle of running when Ian hit.
We were able to move that production down to the Folds Theater at the Alliance for the Arts. So grateful to them for allowing us to use their space. And again, the team, they jumped into gear. They salvaged what they could of the set and then moved that down, and we set it up for a new staging, if you will.
Just south of downtown Fort Myers along McGregor Boulevard, the Alliance for the Arts worked quickly to address damage, including flooding in its back gallery, roof damage to multiple buildings, and widespread damage to their campus.
We had a big group day where we had volunteers come and help us clean up the campus because we have a lot of campus to clean and a lot of trees, so there was a lot of stuff to pick up. We had some sculptures that were blown over, and a lot of them are still not back where they're supposed to be because they're very heavy, and so we need special cranes and stuff to lift them and place them back. So some of that still has not been done.
Almost immediately, Alliance staff began thinking about how they could maximize their resources to help the local community simply by providing an outlet to share their stories.
After the storm, the first day we were all back on campus, we had like a staff meeting, and it turned into all of us just talking about what we had experienced during the storm. And in having that conversation, we thought that it might be good for the community to find a way to talk about their experiences too, because it was cathartic for us, so we hope that it is for other people. So we immediately put together a phone line where people could call in and leave their voicemails, just talking about what they had experienced during or after the storm.
By January, the stories they'd collected led to a partnership with the Gulf Coast Writers Association, which had also been working to document individuals' experiences with the hurricane.
And we got in contact with the writers, and they had so many that we thought that a physical written book would be a really great way to compile and share these stories.
The Storm Stories book, containing written accounts from 80 people who experienced Ian, is now available. It's come in conjunction with a juried art exhibition available now to mark the 1-year anniversary of Ian's landfall.
We just asked artists to sort of ruminate on their experiences. We told them it could be a healing story, it could be a story of loss, it could be anything as long as it's helpful for them to get it out. It was really hard to choose, and it was also really emotional to go through the submissions and see, because a lot of them are things that people lost or It's just like heavy things that people went through.
Overall, responses from Southwest Florida's performing arts organizations reflect the spirit of resiliency, collaboration, and goodwill seen throughout Southwest Florida in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian.
There are many more stories and more of holding our community leaders accountable as we rebuild after Hurricane Ian.
Please stay with WGCU as we continue to gather the news and present it at WGCU.org, on WGCU FM, and right here on WGCU PBS.
We want to say thank you to all for helping us tell the stories of Hurricane Ian.